Did you know that 78% of people over the age of 65 will experience memory problems in the next 5 years? However, a new and surprising study reveals that just 1 minute a day can reverse this decline and restore the mental sharpness of someone decades younger. What I'm about to share with you could make the difference between keeping your independence or losing it forever. Because while most people accept forgetfulness as an inevitable part of aging, I've discovered something that's changing everything we thought we knew about brain aging. Hello, I'm Dr. Lucy Chun, and for more than 3 decades as a neurologist specializing in cognitive health, I've witnessed something extraordinary. People over 70, 80, even 90 years old who think faster, remember more clearly, and move more confidently than people half their age. And the secret is not expensive treatments or dangerous medications, but a simple 1-minute routine that anyone can do, even while sitting in a chair. Before we get into it, I'd like to know where you're watching from today. Type your city or country in the comments. I read them all. And if you care about protecting your memory and your independence, press the subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this channel reveals health truths that could save your future. Now, let me ask you a question you may find familiar. Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went there? Have you struggled to remember the name of someone you've known for years? And have you felt embarrassed when your mind goes blank? Or maybe your thoughts are clear in your head, but when you try to speak, the words don't come out right. If you're nodding your head, you're not alone. And I want to know you're with me. If this sounds familiar, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Your opinion matters here. Here's what most doctors won't tell you. That memory lapse you just experienced isn't random. It's not just aging. It's your brain sending you a distress signal because something crucial is shutting down. And if you ignore these early warning signs, what happens next can be devastating. Let me describe what's really happening inside your brain right now. Every day you don't take action, critical neural pathways are literally dissolving. The hippocampus, the memory center, is shrinking. The cerebellum, which controls balance, is weakening. Blood flow to the brain is slowing down to almost a stop. It's like watching a once lively garden slowly die from lack of water. But here's the shocking truth that changes everything. Recent research from the University of California has shown that the aging brain can regenerate faster than we ever imagined, but only if you know how to activate the right switches. And those switches are in plain sight, in parts of your body you'd never imagine. What I'm about to show you is based on revolutionary neuroscience that reveals how 5 specific body movements can literally rewire your brain in just 60 seconds. These aren't complicated exercises that require special equipment or risky effort. You can do them sitting in pajamas without sweating a drop. But before I show you these 5 brain-saving techniques, let me tell you the story of Carlos, a 75-year-old retired teacher from Spain, who went from shuffling around his house in fear to hiking through the mountains again. All thanks to what you're about to learn. The silent theft of your mind. Most people think memory loss happens overnight. One day you're sharp, and the next you're confused. But cognitive decline doesn't work that way. It's a slow, silent thief that steals your mental clarity little by little. That IT starts innocently. You can't find the right word in a conversation. You forget why you opened the fridge. You lose your train of thought mid-sentence. You blame it on stress, tiredness, or just age. But in reality, your brain is crying out for help. Here's what's really happening. Without proper stimulation, your brain's neural networks begin to disconnect. It's like a highway system where bridges start to collapse. The traffic, your thoughts and memories can no longer flow freely. The hippocampus, which stores your memories, begins to shrink. The cerebellum, crucial for balance and coordination, starts to fail. Blood vessels narrow, depriving the brain of the oxygen and nutrients it desperately needs. The scariest part, this process speeds up rapidly after age 60. According to a study published in the Journal of Neuroscience, adults over 65 lose brain volume at a rate of 1 to 2% per year. That might not sound like much, but in 5 years you could lose up to 10% of your cognitive ability. But here's the revolutionary discovery. Your brain has something called neuroplasticity, the ability to form new neural connections throughout your life. Even at 80, 90 years or older, your brain can literally rewire itself. All it needs is the right stimulation. And that stimulation comes from an unexpected source, strategic movement. Now, If you think this sounds too simple to be true, I understand your skepticism. But keep reading, because the science behind what I'm about to show you will forever change the way you think about your brain. Movement number 1, the toe movement revolution that rebuilds your brain. It may sound crazy, but the fastest way to improve your memory starts with your toes. Yes, your toes. And there's deep neuroscience behind this. Your feet contain more than 200,000 nerve endings that connect directly to the cerebellum, the brain region that controls not just balance, but also attention, learning, and memory formation. When you move your toes deliberately, you're basically sending a wake-up signal to brain circuits that have been inactive for years. Think of it like turning on the light in a dark room. Suddenly, the pathways that were closed begin to activate again. Blood flow increases, neural connections strengthen, your brain literally begins to rebuild. Let me tell you about Carlos, the 75-year-old man I mentioned earlier. When he first came to my clinic, he could barely climb the stairs in his own home. He walked dragging his feet, constantly looked for support, and had stopped driving because he didn't trust his reflexes. His family was already looking for nursing homes. "Doctor," he told me with tears in his eyes, "I feel like my body doesn't belong to me anymore. My mind wants to do things, but everything feels disconnected." That's when I taught him this simple toe exercise. He looked at me like I was crazy. "Moving my toes will help me with memory?" he asked, skeptical. But Carlos was so desperate he was willing to try anything. This is exactly what I taught him. Sit comfortably with your feet flat on the floor. Slowly lift all 10 toes as high as you can. Hold for 5 seconds, then press them down firmly for 5 seconds. Next, use your toes to grip the floor for 10 seconds, as if trying to grab something. Finally, spread your toes and move them freely for 10 seconds. In total, that's 30 seconds. Repeat twice to complete 1 minute. It sounds simple, almost ridiculous, but after just 2 weeks, Carlos called me with his voice trembling with excitement. "Dr. Chun, yesterday I walked to the corner store without holding on to anything, and for the first time in months, I remembered my neighbor's grandson's name without even thinking about it." A landmark study from the University of Tokyo supports Carlos's experience. Researchers found that older adults who performed deliberate toe movements for 3 weeks showed significant improvements in balance, coordination, and memory compared to a control group. The connection between the toes and the brain is real and powerful. Movement number 2, the neck twist that floods your brain with life. The second movement focuses on a problem that is silently destroying the minds of millions of older people. Poor blood circulation in the brain. If your brain doesn't receive enough oxygen-rich blood, it simply can't function at full capacity. You'll experience brain fog, memory problems, and that frustrating feeling of mental slowness. The neck is the main bridge between the body and the brain. When the neck muscles get tense due to bad posture, stress, or simply aging, they squeeze the blood vessels like a twisted garden hose. The solution: gentle, deliberate neck movements that open up these vital pathways. This is the exact technique. Sit with your back straight and shoulders relaxed. Slowly turn your head to the right as far as is comfortable. Hold for 3 seconds and return to center. Repeat to the left. Next, gently tilt your head back to look up. Hold for 3 seconds, then bring your chin to your chest for 3 seconds. That's about 30 seconds. Repeat once more to complete the minute. The results are often immediate. Many of my patients say they feel mentally clearer just minutes after doing this exercise. It's not a placebo effect, but the result of increased blood flow bringing fresh oxygen and nutrients to the brain. Movement number 3, the tongue technique that unlocks your words. This third movement may seem unusual, but it's based on cutting-edge research about the connection between the tongue and the brain. The tongue contains thousands of nerve endings that connect directly to the brain areas, responsible for language, memory, and processing speed. Every deliberate movement of the tongue sends strong signals to these brain regions, essentially waking them up. It's like having a direct line to the brain's language center. The exercise is simple but requires focus. With your mouth slightly open, stick your tongue out as far as you can and hold it for 3 seconds. Move it to the right as if trying to touch your cheek. Hold for 3 seconds, then to the left. Press the tongue firmly against the roof of your mouth for 5 seconds, then make 3 slow circles inside the mouth. The whole sequence takes about 30 seconds. Repeat it twice to complete the minute. This movement is especially effective for people who struggle to find words, have trouble expressing thoughts clearly, or feel mentally blocked. This is pure neurostimulation that directly activates the brain circuits responsible for clear thinking and articulate speech. Movement number 4, the ear massage that restores balance. Most people don't realize that the ears are connected to much more than hearing. Inside the ears is the vestibular system, the body's balance control center. This system also connects to crucial brain regions that regulate alertness, spatial awareness, and overall mental clarity. When you properly stimulate the ears, you activate these deep brain structures that often slow down with age. The results can be profound: better balance, clearer thinking, improved coordination, and reduced dizziness. Here's the technique. Gently hold both ears with your hands. Pull them upward for 5 seconds, then outward for 5 seconds, then downward for 5 seconds. Finish by massaging them in small circles for 15 seconds. That's the 30-second sequence. Repeat it twice. Clinical studies have confirmed that this simple practice significantly improves vestibular function and reduces fall risk in older adults. More importantly, it improves communication between the brain and body, helping you feel steady and confident in your movements. Movement number 5, the 1-minute symphony that changes everything. Now comes the most powerful part, combining all 4 movements into one synchronized routine. It's like conducting a symphony orchestra where each instrument plays its part, but together they create something magical. When multiple brain regions are activated at the same time, the connections between them strengthen dramatically. It's not just adding benefits, it's multiplying them. Let me tell you the story of Elena, an 80-year-old grandmother from Seville. When I met her, she spoke slowly, walked with difficulty, and had stopped doing many of the things she used to love. Her family was worried. She seemed to be fading. "Doctor," she said to me, "all of this sounds very complicated. I can barely remember to take my medication. How am I going to do 5 different exercises?" That's when I taught her how to combine them. Sitting comfortably, she began moving her toes up and down while slowly turning her neck from side to side. Then she moved her toes while tilting her neck up and down. Next, she stuck out her tongue while gently pulling her ears upward. She moved her tongue side to side while stretching her ears outward. She pressed her tongue against the roof of her mouth while pulling her ears downward. And finally, she rotated her tongue while massaging her ears in. Circles. 1 minute. That's all it took. 3 weeks later, Elena walked into my office with a spark I hadn't seen in her before. "Doctor," she said with a bright smile, "yesterday I remembered the phone number of a childhood friend. I hadn't thought of her in 20 years, but the number just came to me. The 3 secrets that multiply your results." Now that you know the 5 movements, I want to share with you 3 secrets that will speed up your results dramatically. Secret number 1, the hydration trick. Drink a full glass of water 10 minutes before your routine. Your brain is 80% water, and even mild dehydration can reduce cognitive function by up to 20%. Proper hydration ensures maximum blood flow and optimal neural transmission during the exercises. Secret number 2, the breathing bridge. Breathe deeply during each movement. Inhale slowly through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system, reduces stress hormones, and brings more oxygen to the brain. It's like opening the windows of a stuffy room. Secret number 3, the music method. Do your routine while listening to soft, pleasant music. Research shows that music activates multiple regions of the brain at the same time, improving neuroplasticity and making the brain more receptive to forming new connections. 3 critical mistakes that slow your progress. But knowing what to do is only half the journey. You also need to avoid these 3 common mistakes that can sabotage your results. Mistake number 1, the speed trap. Never do the movements in a rush. Your brain needs time to process and respond to each stimulus. Moving too fast can cause dizziness and reduce effectiveness. Think of this like meditation, not exercise. Mistake number 2, the pain push. If something hurts, stop immediately. These movements should be gentle and comfortable. Pain means you're forcing something that should flow naturally. Listen to your body and respect its limits. Mistake number 3, the consistency killer. The biggest mistake is giving up too soon. Your brain thrives on routine and repetition. Doing it occasionally won't create lasting change, but 1 minute a day for 3 weeks, that can literally rewire your neural networks. Your 60-second doorway to mental freedom. Now you hold something incredibly powerful in your hands, a science-backed routine that can help you regain the mental sharpness you thought was lost forever. 5 simple movements that target the most important areas of brain function: memory, circulation, language, balance, and integrated processing. Maybe as you read this, you already felt something. A slight tingling in your feet, a sense of clarity in your thoughts, or simply hope returning where there once was resignation. That's not a coincidence. It's your brain responding to the possibility of renewal. Your mind is not broken. It's not too late. Whether you're 60, 70, 80, or older, your brain still has the extraordinary ability to heal, adapt, and strengthen. It only asks for 1 minute a day. Just 60 seconds to start rebuilding the neural pathways that connect you with your memories, your balance, your words, and your confidence. Think about what 1 minute means in your day. It's less time than it takes to make a cup of coffee, less time than checking your email, but it could be the minute that gives you back 20 years of mental agility. This is my challenge for you. Try this routine for just 1 week. See how you feel. Notice how you move. Notice how clearly you think. And if you experience even the slightest improvement, if you remember something you thought was lost, if you feel more stable when walking, if your words come out more easily, you'll know you've found something truly valuable. Because this isn't just about memory exercises or brain games. It's about reclaiming your independence. It's about staying connected to the people and activities you love. It's about living with dignity and confidence, knowing that your mind is still sharp, still growing, still capable of incredible things. If this video opened your eyes to new possibilities, share it with someone who needs it. Share it with that friend who's been struggling with memory loss, with that family member who's lost confidence in their mental abilities, because everyone deserves to age with clarity and grace. And this is what I want you to do right now. Commit to trying this routine for 3 weeks, and then come back and tell me your story in the comments. Tell me what changed. Tell me what you remembered. Tell me how it feels to reconnect with that sharp, vibrant mind you thought was lost forever.